Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to say it is National Belize Independence Day, thanks to Dr. Tiffany Bussey over here. But it's also Earth, Wind, and Fire Day, so yay, happy Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first meeting of the Southeast MBDA Business Growth Hub. My name is Donna Ennis, and I'm the Director of Diversity Engagement and Program Development at the Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute, and I also serve as the project lead for the Southeast MBDA Business Growth Hub. On behalf of Georgia Tech, the MBDA, and the Southeast MBDA Business Growth Hub team, I want to thank you for attending our first annual meeting. We appreciate your taking the time to learn about what we are working on and to provide your feedback and insight. We know that you are busy people, and we value your time. We are building something for you and for people like you. So we are excited about this 2-year pilot project. Before I talk about this initiative, let me start with a quick overview of the MBDA. For those of you who don't know MBDA, the U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Development Agency, or MBDA, is the only federal agency dedicated to the growth and development of minority business enterprises, or MBEs. In fact, this week is Minority Enterprise Development, or MedWeek, and on Friday, we're celebrating Buy MBE Day. The agency has operated since the late 1960s and funds a national network of over 100 business and specialty centers, along with special projects. We have operated the Georgia MBDA Business Center here at Georgia Tech since 2004 under the umbrella of the Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute, which is Georgia Tech's economic development and service arm, having served Georgia and the nation since the late 1950s. We have a number of programs under the Institute focused on starting, growing, and sustaining of businesses, along with developing entrepreneurial systems here in Georgia, nationally, and even internationally. In 2020, MBDA provided a grant to Georgia Tech to launch a 2-year pilot program called the MBDA Inner City Innovation Hub. We have since renamed this project the Southeast MBDA Business Growth Hub to better reflect the hub's objectives and goals. The MBDA Business Growth Hub will operate virtually and in person throughout the Southeast region in selected cities in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Led again by the Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute, the Southeast MBDA Business Growth Hub is a collaboration between the Georgia MBDA Business Center, the Advanced Technology Development Center, or ATDC, that is the technology incubator here at Georgia Tech, Morehouse Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, MIEC, that is the Entrepreneurship Center for Students and Business Support Organization for the community at Morehouse College, and Phrenology Global, a private MBE company focused on providing entrepreneurship programming to people and organizations around the world. Each one of these collaborators has a particular role in the hub, and I'll explain that in a minute. So the goals of the hub include, number one, we want to weave a strong blended network among entrepreneur service organizations and programs, incubators, accelerators, innovation spaces, state and federal organizations, corporate partners, investors, and other ecosystem partners to create a regional innovation hub for minority business enterprises, or MBEs. We want them to gain immediate and impactful access to start, grow, and scale their companies. We also want to increase opportunities and resources for MBEs as well as BIPOC, or Black, Indigenous, and people of color entrepreneurs in big cities in the Southeast region. We aim to establish and nurture connectivity across historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, our minority serving institutions, or MSIs, as well as with MBEs, corporations, entrepreneurs, investors, and again, other stakeholders. And finally, we aim to create and deploy a virtual technology solution that will automatically and dynamically suggest, match, and track MBEs to the resources and connections that are needed to successfully grow and scale their companies. Here, I want to note that we are currently in a proof of concept phase for this project. So I'll repeat, we're in a proof of concept phase for this project. For the last year, we have been developing what we call lanes for the hub. So first, we have our HBCU MSI lane led by the Morehouse Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, Dr. Tiffany Bussey to my right over here, and her team have connected with dozens of program leaders at HBCUs and MSIs in the Southeast to research what is needed to build and run an entrepreneurship center, either serving students and faculty on campus or to serve their local communities. We also have the entrepreneur, or what we call our minority business enterprise lane, led by Chronology Global. Lakeisha French and her team have conducted in-depth interviews to understand the entrepreneur's journey and the obstacles faced by business owners and aspiring business owners. And then we have our MBDA at the Advanced Technology Development, or MBDA at HBCU lane, led by John Avery. John Avery and his team are developing a model of how a high-tech incubator can become more diverse, equitable, and inclusive when attached to a predominantly white institution. You'll hear from the leaders of each of these lanes shortly. Our fourth lane, which we are beginning to develop, will be what we call our anchor institutions lane. For purposes of this meeting, our anchor institutions are organizations, corporations, and programs that serve entrepreneurs. And I know that we have many entrepreneur service organizations on the line or who have registered today. We also are developing partnership with companies and organizations that want to support the hub. Today, we will begin to merge the three lanes with the anchor institutions. We will show you a demo of a tool along with the concept of the hub. And we'll talk about that later. We looked at several tools and we decided that we wanted to demo this particular tool. Accenture has generously joined our team to help develop the hub, along with the Atlanta technology startup, The Labs, and will lead the feedback session of this meeting. Before we get started, I'd like to emphasize a few points. First, through research and feedback from the program leaders at the HBCUs and MSIs, in-depth interviews with entrepreneurs and business owners, we have learned several important things. One, hundreds of entrepreneur ecosystems exist in the country. This summer, we had a graduate student map the entrepreneur assets in the Southeast, and he identified hundreds of organizations in Georgia alone. Second, entrepreneurs and business owners are on a journey. We have heard from many of you out there that you are often bouncing around trying to find the right resources and support to help you along your journey. Number three, program leaders at many HBCUs and minority serving institutions want to launch, grow, and sustain entrepreneur programs that connect with students, faculties, and businesses in the community. Programs might start, but often lack the resources to help them sustain their efforts. A lack of dedicated staff due to the lack of resources can lead to little engagement on campus. And finally, we know that these journeys can be time-consuming, tiring, and frustrating, especially for the business owner who is trying to grow and scale their business. So our goal today is to show you something that we think will help us to solve these serious problems and build a foundation for a stronger, more equitable community. We want this hub to create a community that is a living and breathing entity. First of all, we're not trying to create a super website or another resource director. We know that there are plenty of those out there. We want to figure out how to bring support organizations to the hub in a way that entrepreneurs can utilize the services and resources in an active way. We see this as an opportunity for MBEs to expand their network, as well as a way for your entrepreneur service organizations or our anchor institutions to reach more entrepreneurs. This image, can you go back to the connectivity one? The image up here shows, thank you, this image shows the region with a true network of relationships, connections between and among the people and organizations on this call today. The business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to grow their business, the program leaders at the schools who want to help students and business owners in their local community, the entrepreneurship programs and the business support organizations that meet the needs of established and new business owners in the region, and the other stakeholders who supply capital, connections, opportunities, and more. Again, I am thrilled to have you here and hear your feedback on the concept we're about to share. If I didn't have this mask on, you'd see my huge smile, so you just have to take my word for it. But before I have the team introduce themselves, I would like to thank Accenture, Tiffany Devils and her team for joining this initiative. We know that it's a huge vision, and we appreciate your willingness to learn with us about how this might work. I want to also thank Farrah at the Labs, the company which created the online demo and has a platform that you will see shortly. And I would like to give a shout out and thank you to Charles Weems of Weems Design Studio. Charles is one of our clients. He's been with us for several years. He's an entrepreneur who has built a business, and he has given his time to let us know. He has used many of the resources that we plan to have in the hub, and so he provided some invaluable insight about the journey. And then I want to recognize and thank the organizations, companies, and HBCUs, MSIs that have provided letters of support for this initiative. From the private and nonprofit profit community, we have Aero, ATL, Officio Inc., Operation Hope, The Gathering Spot, and Zane Venture Fund. And from our HBCU MSI community, we have Albany State University, Benedict College, Florida A&M, Agriculture Mechanical University, Fayetteville State University, Fisk University, Jackson State University, Oakwood University, and Spelman College. Again, I'd like to thank all of our supporters. This first year has been an adventure. We were funded as a pilot project, and we're learning as we go along. I'll use the expression, we're building the plane as we're trying to fly it. So your feedback will help us to set the right course, hopefully, for the second year of the project and more going forward. So with that, I'd like to provide introductions to our team.
All right, I think I'm up next, Donna.
Right.
Thank you. And wow, what can we say after that? My goodness, that's awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tiffany Bussey, Executive Director of the Morehouse College Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. And on my team is Anthony Jr., who serves as project manager, and Lavanya Jones, who's our project coordinator. And we've had the awesome pleasure this year of leading what Donna just described as the lane for the MSIs, the minority serving institutions. It was our privilege to really lead that component of this project. And I will just share, as I have the mic, if you will, a little bit about the accomplishment which Donna laid out by the numbers for our first year. We developed a directory. First of all, had to research and find out where are these activities on campus. And we found 63 of these MSIs within the 8 states under the scope of this project that had these type of entrepreneurial activities on their campuses. We conducted 39 in-depth interviews of both students and administrators on these campuses, held 3 connection sessions with 54 attendees representing all 8 states. We obtained, as Donna explained, the 11 letters of support from the MSIs. And here is what we learned. And this is where I will end, because this is very short. We've got to get into the meat of exactly why we are here. So the 3 top challenges for these programs are funding, program development, and staffing. The 3 top expectations of MSIs for this hub is access to resources, networking, and idea sharing. We also heard overwhelmingly the desire of the minority serving institution community in support of this idea of the hub. We look forward to continuing the work and to have the strong support in building the ecosystem here in the Southeast region. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lakeisha French.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lakeisha French, President and CEO of Chronology Global, and it's a pleasure to be here with everyone. A very exciting time, and to be able to talk with you all and really get your feedback is what I'm most looking forward to. And so I'll just quickly, on our team working on the INE pathways is Sammy from Urbender. She's here. We also have Shalonda and Richard Lee, who's been supporting with the in-depth interviewing. And as Tiffany said, we'll get into the meat a little bit later, but I'll just say this for what the work that we've been doing over the past year left us more with trying to answer a question, and that is minority business enterprises must navigate entrepreneurship differently and face added barriers to building a successful company and ultimately wealth. If the known and charted pathway for entrepreneurs does not work for MBEs, then what does, and what is the pathway? And that's really been our North Star and guiding light, and to trying to build out this lane to support the vision of the hub to ultimately be able to change that trajectory.
Thank you. John?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is John Avery. I'm a director for the Advanced Technology Development Center. We are essentially one of the nodes on the network, and we work directly with entrepreneurs. We're funded by the state of Georgia, but we work out of Georgia Tech, but we support founders all over the state of Georgia. We do that by helping them connect with all the resources they need, whether that's training or investments or grants, customers or employees. And today we have two of our catalysts with us in person. Blanca Catalina Garcia is in the room there, and then Kia Malicio is on the phone. And over the past year, both Blanca and Nakia have been actively connecting with more than 80 minority business enterprises and networking with more than 350 founders via the events and workshops, both as part of this program and through their catalyst roles at ATDC. And in 2021, already this year, ATDC has introduced 22 new companies into our Accelerate portfolio. And of 10 of those, half of those have actually been identified through this network, just to show you how much power there is in this community. And the BIPOC founders in our portfolio this year have raised close to $5 million and created 28 new jobs just this year, which isn't even over. One of the clear messages we've received from the interactions that Blanca and Nakia have been spearheading is the need and the necessity for a strong community. That's why we're so excited to be a part of this effort. Entrepreneurship is, Donna said, a very difficult endeavor, and it can be quite lonely. And so a network where you can do the work alongside other people in high trust and mutual support can really be a strong enabler. And so the MBDA at ATDC program is essentially the reason we exist, to try to create that network as one of the nodes in this hub. We've made a lot of progress this year, but we're just getting started. I really do believe that this community is going to be setting the pace for how these communities can work going forward in the next coming years, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it. So we're glad to be here and looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you, John. Brandy Nagel.
Hi, I'm Brandy Nagel. Happy to have so many people with us today. During the past year, we've talked with a couple of dozen entrepreneurship support organizations or business development organizations. And these vary from MBDA centers, similar to what we have here at Georgia Tech, and organizations like the Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative, all throughout the region. We've also talked with people from executive education programs, startup programs, the whole variety. What we've heard from them is that they would like more resources and easier access to the people that they serve, their target audience. As Donna said earlier, the idea of the hub is to create a blended regional network. And part of my own interest in this is helping to make it easy for these organizations to share or leverage resources to help each other there's plenty of people for us to help. And so I'd like to make it easier for entrepreneurs to get to the right resource the first time, and for those resource organizations to attract the right people to their programs immediately. This part of the hub we've just begun to build, and we look forward to doing more over the next 12 months.
And Brandy, by the way, is the program manager for the hub. Kirk Barnes.
Hi, excuse me, good afternoon, everyone. Kirk Barnes, and my specific remit is pertaining to our partners, and both corporate partners and venture capital firms that are invested in doing business with minority business enterprises. We are so excited to have one of each already on board as a part of the hub with Zane Capital as well as Accenture. And we find ourselves in a very unique position right now with this window of opportunity for minority business enterprises to engage both corporations and those entities looking to invest in minority-owned businesses. With that being said, we look at different ways in which corporations that have proclaimed or would like to participate and engage minority business entities across the country. And we've looked at a few different ways in which that could happen. That could happen through coaching and mentoring, pilot programs, minority supplier opportunities, investment into NBEs, and even investment into sustainability as an ongoing partner of the hub. So I think that we're starting to see what that model looks like through our current engagement, both with Zane as well as Accenture. And my ask is, if you know, or if you are a corporation here and you would like to be engaged with us, to communicate with us, reach out to us, learn more about what we're doing, and we would love to have you engaged to be a part of this journey.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next step is we're going to do a quick Q&A. If you go ahead, if you have any questions for us, and post them in the chat, Aisha and I will help to answer any questions you have. And then in just a moment, when we're done with the Q&A, we'll transition to the next part. Aisha, do you see any questions?
Not so far, but they should put them in the Q&A box as opposed to the chat box. Not the chat box, the Q&A box.
Oh, got it. Thank you. I don't see any questions. All right, then let's go on to the next section. Who would like to introduce this?
Kirk is.
Oh, Kirk? Kirk, can you introduce our next section?
Hey, Brandy, I'm sorry, I do see a question here now. Are there any grants available for small female-owned businesses, or are there websites that they can research?
Why, yes, there is. Can I ask Blanca to answer that?
Oh, so I guess what I want to clarify is that question saying that is the hub offer grants, or is it that you're looking to find resources via the hub?
It looks like they're just looking for resources.
Yeah, so absolutely, that's exactly part of what we do here. So we are depending on, so for example, right now I'm part of the ATDC arm of the project, so focus more on tech product companies and deep tech companies, but the hub is positioned to connect with entrepreneurs like you. And one of the things that we know is really important is access to capital and the funding, the capital that you need to get your business off the ground. So one of the things that we're doing is we're providing that support, that coaching to help you find where those resources are available. And particularly the thing that Donna mentioned earlier, we're also very intentionally trying to create collaborative networks so that we also have connections with those funders, with organizations that give those grants, so that they become part of this network, this collaborative network that we're building.
And let me just add that there are a lot of grants out there. There are tons of grants out there for entrepreneurs. I think since I've been in this space, grants used to be thought of as something that went to for-profits, but certainly since COVID, we've seen a proliferation of grants that are coming from the state, from the counties, from cities, from organizations, from corporations. So to the person who asked the question, I would say, we need a little bit more information about what kind of company you are and what type of grant you're looking for. And then we could better help you through the hub.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put in the chat a link to make it easy to connect with us.
Mm-hmm.
It is the hub website and it's the contact page. So put your information there and then one of us will be able to respond. I had one more question come in. Let me read it to us. Just a moment. I need to enlarge. For organizations who are currently working with entrepreneurs, what opportunities are available to connect them with the work occurring in the hub? I'd love to talk with you. That's Sterling. Sterling, click on the website that I just posted, and I'd love to talk with you. That would be great. And then I have another question here. How can I sign a letter of support as a corporate sponsor? Kirk Barnes would be delighted to talk with you. Would the MBDA network, oops, I just lost it, connect with art companies? Yes, I think so.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd love to
Yes.
talk with you.
Yes.
We could. I can answer that. I think we're looking at companies across industries and stages of business. So from ideation to mature company, and so we would certainly welcome you in.
Thank you, Lakeisha. I should make that point that we are looking at the 5 stages of businesses, from ideation to maturity, as Lakeisha said. And thus we're seeking input from businesses at each of those stages so that we can make sure that the hub addresses what your need is at that stage. So we know that an entrepreneur who is in ideation has a totally different journey, is on a totally different path right now than someone who's been in business for 5 years and is generating, millions of dollars. But they still need resources and help. That we do know. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
And if I could
One
just
more.
mention-
Please.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that. So we have done interviews with over 75 companies across those stages. So the resources that we have been reaching out to, or the organizations we've been connecting with, and the current letters of support we have, we've directed our energy into connecting with those companies that are echoing from what current MBEs across stages have shared with us in regards to who they have been working with, what's been helping them to move the needle in their businesses. And so while we're looking to create connectivity, we also understand that it's important, as you guys are navigating this ecosystem, that you are investing your time into organizations that have a proven track record and evidence-based in terms of helping entrepreneurs across those different stages. So we're making those decisions evidence-based.
Thank you, Lakeisha. And then I had 2 more sort of themes in the questions. And one was, as a founder, how do I get connected into the hub? And then the other is, as a service provider, how do I connect into the hub? So I've left my email address in and the website. And thank you. I'm so excited to get that much of a positive response from everyone.
So when they go to the website, you'll complete some information, you'll check some boxes about what you're interested in, and then we'll have a follow-up. Brandy or one of our team members will follow up with you.
All right, let's move to the next part. Hey, Kirk Barnes, can you help us out?
I sure can. Thank you, Brandy. So introduced the next part of this session. I think this is a testament to show that our network and networking really can work. So Farah Allen, who is the CEO and founder of the labs, we've actually had the pleasure of knowing Farah throughout her journey here in Atlanta. And as we were evaluating different vendors, it was our own Blanca that mentioned, hey, we should check out what Farah has as her platform looks like it could facilitate exactly what we want. And so after we did some research and met with other vendors, we had a call and meeting with Farah. And I could tell you that her platform went far above and beyond what we conceived could be a virtual place for the hub. So I want to take some time and turn it over to Farah to show you what her platform looks like in its current state, as it's been used for some groundbreaking events across the country with very high visibility. And then we'll also talk about parts of the hub that will be customized within her platform. And you'll see some very interesting opportunities in terms of corporate engagement, in terms of the MBE engagement, in terms of how this platform could really revolutionize how we all engage with one another and connect each other with these different resources. So keep in mind, this is an ongoing process. So the input that we got from Tiffany's team, the input we got from the MBEs that we've taken into consideration, that was a large part of the foundation that we're now building upon to take your additional feedback right now on top of what Farah is going to show you to start to shape how we operationalize and put to work all of the different inputs that we gotten from the different lanes in the hub. So Farah, I will turn it over to you to kind of show us the beauty of the labs, and then we can kind of walk through some of the things conceptually that we're looking to do as we operationalize and really make the hub come together.
Thank you, Kirk. Hi, everybody. I'm Farah Allen, CEO and founder of the labs. So today I want to go over, general information about what are we, what's our company about, what product do we actually have. Then I want to show you a few examples that really inspired the team here to really inquire about us and what else can we do. And then I want to go into concepts around the hub and see how you guys, of course, afterwards feel about the direction that the team is going. So what is the labs? Basically, the world is revolving. Websites were the hottest things. They're still big, but as we found from COVID, companies and organizations were finding more ways to connect to people, to make things more interactive. Unfortunately, that's not scalable in reality. There's no real platform that allows you to be fully customizable, to scale interactivity until now. The lab says that. We are a platform, we're a design platform that allows you to build your own platform. Most of everything that everyone wants to do is make sure that their brand is stable, that they have ways to communicate with people, and we do that. So we don't limit creativity. Our customers normally come to us and say, hey, we have a goal. This is how we're thinking about it. And then we show them ways of experience design, which is a new concept. And we show them how to do that in a way that connects back to their community, connects back to what results they're trying to see. Some of the goals folks have and why we are here is to globally connect. Most of the experiences that folks have, people are like calling in from Kuwait, from France and Paris, and no matter what their background is, there's always someone from an international scene. And they're staying and they're sticking around longer in our platform because there's things for them to do outside of the norm. We have unique marketing activations that folks come up with. There's opportunity for you to storytell, to gamify situation. And at the end of the day, everybody wants to see that data. That's how you know if you're doing well. We capture data on buttons clicked, how many visits, how many people, all the things that you need to know in order for you to make actions within your organization. So I'm not going to go over any use cases, but just to show you what something looks like. This platform is made for novice to professionals to design experiences, but our company does that as well. This is an example here of a web experience. So what do we have? And I want you guys to kind of take this bucket of features we have and in your brain think of ways that we can really get the goals accomplished. So we have custom video chats that looks really cool. It's not in any way, it looks like anything that you're probably used to. You have backgrounds that you can add. If you need a live stream, even if you need to live stream from WebEx or Zoom into the platform, you're able to do that. chatting and having customization there. And then if you want to have more of a Netflix feel, meaning that, content starts for everybody at the same time, you can program videos to automatically start as well. We have tons more features, anywhere from having audio, so if you have podcasts, you want to connect in platform, to video, to writing, to downloads, to games. Even if you have three AR products that you want to have a 360 view, that's a new thing in e-commerce, you're able to do that within our platform. And Kirk talked about looking at other competitors in our space and talking to them, and why they went with us is because we're the only one of our kind right now, which is great. We offer a little bit of everything from industries that from website developer companies like Wix and Shopify, to YouTubes of the world, to video conferences. At the end of the day, we are offering the creativity, the flexibility for you to mix and match what you want. Okay.
Hey, Farrah,
so
can I just chime in a point there? I think that's important to highlight that as we are looking for a platform that can host and actually navigate everything that we want to do, I'd imagine the more that we engage with the different lanes, there are going to be new things that we want to do. So having a platform that has tons of scalability, has a lot of features that we probably haven't even thought about how to use and what we can do with them, I think that's important to show across all those different platforms that we're familiar with, that you're engaging with something that is cutting edge. So very important point, Farrah, I just wanted to emphasize.
Thank you for that. Yes. So this is an event we did a few weeks ago. It's going to stay up for the next 7 months. But, during the experience, we actually changed it every hour. There was something different our client wanted the audience to see every hour. And it's super easy to do that because this is as flexible as a PowerPoint presentation. But the content is important. The interactivity of that content is important. So they have photo booths here and, different days of the week for different subject matters. We chat, it's very active. And there's always the way for people to communicate and come together. Different video content that you can click on. And then we had, the city of Atlanta is having an experience that they're going to do for the next 6 months as well. So they have vendors and exhibitors that you can get more information about. This was actually live at one point, but now it's an on-demand experience. So you can click through here. We had an Espanol at some point, great videos. So all of these things are a part of things you can do in order to achieve whatever the goal is. Sure.
So what I'd like to add to that is we have maybe four different lanes here. So when you're looking at this, we have our business owners and entrepreneurs. You're looking at it from, okay, how am I going to enter the hub? What do I want to access while I'm in the hub? How am I going to access that? We have an entrepreneur service organization. So you're used to people coming to your website. Well, now they're going to come and click on the Georgia MBDA Business Center. What are they going to see? How are they going to interact with that center? Then we have our corporate partners who will be in the hub. What do you want folks to see when they come in, or experience, I should use that word. And then we'll have other types of organizations, say like capital access organizations, or organizations that may be federal and state agencies. We don't know yet, but again, as Farrah is showing you this experience, we want to bring the same type of live experience to the hub, if that makes sense to people. So when we go through this exercise of getting your feedback, we really want you to have your creative hats on about what you would like to see in this hub.
Yes, thank you. So now
can I add one more thing to that, just real quick? So that I think to Donna's point, to add to it, that the hub is not just a place where you'll get connected. It's actually a place where you can get connected and also engage and interact. So I think that is one of the big takeaways that we got and what was the big draw to FAIR's platform is instead of it being just something that, you know, connects you to resources and kind of puts you here, puts you there, this is a way you can actually engage with people that you may want to talk to. As Donna mentioned, corporate sponsors could even host events on this platform in a very engaging manner. So hopefully, again, just use your creativity as you start to look and see what's possible on a platform like this.
Right, and I just want to add one more thing too. So, you know, there's a lot of discussion around, and I had this conversation today with one of my colleagues, you know, there's a lot of discussion around equity. So, you know, we see this as an opportunity to expand that. So, you know, it's not by accident that we put in a MSI HBCU lane. That's not an accident. That was we thought through that because that helps us connect into the community of our next generation of students and faculty, as well as other institutions that we're working with. It's not, you know, it's not by accident that we chose ATDC to work on how do we bring more diverse BIPOC founders into an incubator, because we know that these incubators exist around the country. So, you know, we want to open up the hub in a way that brings that experience to our, first and foremost, to our business owners and entrepreneurs. That is where, and whether they start at the student level or the faculty level or business owner on the street, we want to be able to connect you guys and build a sense of community where you can go in and know that you have a community that will meet your needs.
And
Thank
Donna,
you.
can I
Thank
just
you.
add?
Go ahead.
Did you need to say something, Keisha?
Yes, I just wanted to add to your point about our intentionality around equity, and also with us being a minority business enterprise ourselves, and so it's not just important what we're building, but how we're building it and who's building it. And so Donna's always been intentional about that, and we've taken the time and care to be able to build this plane while we're flying it, but allowing every piece of it that we build to be reflective of the MBE experience and the pain points and frustrations that you guys are experiencing on the ground as you're working in and on your businesses. And so we take that very, very seriously. And I hope that we're able to build something that feels equitable to you as you move along your entrepreneur journey.
Awesome. All right. So we're in the hub. This is the concept. You know, we from your feedback, there are some key places that we placed in here: marketplace, upcoming events, and one concept that we are testing out is ride the elevator, which gives you access to the many different areas where you can connect and find out more information. The goal of, you know, the ATRIM is so that you can first sign in, create your profile. You're always welcome when you come in. It is a customized welcome screen for you. Let's go ride the elevator. Let's see what happens. So the elevator concept is really cool. You know, we think about transitioning people from one place to the other place, and they're doing that through the elevator system. So if we're going through the ecosystem, and also I mentioned profiles, that's a big thing. So a lot of times entrepreneurs may not know where to start, or they're at a place where they don't know how to continue. So the questionnaire or assessment, I'm not sure what the name's going to be yet, but the assessment would be intelligent enough for when you answer questions, you're going to get a assortment of results that are fine-tuned to your mind, your skill, the stage you're in, even the state you're in. So let's say if Morehouse came up, that's one of my suggestions. Then, you know, I find out more information about Morehouse. This is Morehouse's initial page. And then, you know, here it essentially would be, why was Morehouse picked for you? It'll have certain tags that identify what Morehouse can do for you. And then, of course, different things Morehouse has going on. Morehouse Theater, something I made up. It's really just a place to have pre-recorded content, skill sets, all that. Any events they may have coming up, and any chat room or anything that may be available. And then you can book an appointment with whoever is that point person there. Now, mind you, we're collecting data about people coming to this room, what they click on, how much time they clicked on it. We really want to make sure that information is useful, and you just have to really test that out to see what happens. So the Morehouse Theater will have a way for folks to digest whatever webinar or pre-recorded content that's on the screen. You can write that content. That's more data for you to go back and say, hey, we need more of this or less of this. And then a conversation can go on here live or not. You know, we have the flexibility to remove chats. It doesn't have to be there. Also, this video can actually turn into a video conference very easily or a live stream. Maybe you want more content. You want a little bit more interactivity. You want people to move around but not lose their spot in the video. Well, here's the other side of the room. You have downloadable content. You want people to share their experience in here, or you want them to go to the chat room. That's the options. Of course, there's more options that we can put in there, more ways to really engage them. Let's go in the chat room. So this is the Morehouse chat room. Now you can have specific dates and times. Kind of think of it if anyone's on Clubhouse and you kind of just go. This can be your Clubhouse. This is the way you can communicate and network and find answers. Our video chat rooms you can put anything in there, downloadable content. This whiteboard can actually be something you click and it will turn into a collaborative whiteboard. You want to have your link outs to websites or your shared documents, you can put that in here as well. Now, here's another concept around a clubhouse. That was one of the selections on the elevator. So this is another way of just saying, hey, generally speaking, I have funding questions. Let me actually put my questions in this chat room, or I could put it or have a conversation with whoever's in that room. So now we have a different background. Maybe I was watching something in another room. You can pop that picture out and continue watching it while you're in here with everybody else. Or we could just have a video in here for everyone to digest, and maybe they can have a watch party to talk about the content. So these are just some ways that we can make more activity into the overall web experience. Of course, we're trying to solve problems like, hey, how do I find grants? And, those things, and making that easier for you to do and making it that so that you have answered at the end of this workflow. Thank you.
Thank you. So before we move into the Accenture part, I wanted to make a couple of points about the hub. The hub, as we envision it, we will not be creating any new programming unless we identify gaps. Our goal for all you entrepreneur service organizations out there, our goal is to augment your programs. It's to bring your programs into a platform that will reach more people. That if you are an organization that sits in Alabama and Birmingham, and you really physically serve Birmingham because you're in Birmingham. Well, this gives you an opportunity to serve all of Alabama or even the Southeast. Okay, so. And if you're an organization that's unique to an industry, say you're in you're a food incubator, and you want to get more of your information out to entrepreneurs who are in the food business, this would be a way for you to be able to do that in a way that, again, as Farrah showed you, is more of an experience and is live versus going to a website and clicking on things that are more stagnant. So I just wanted to say that, we're sure that we're probably going to identify gaps in the ecosystem. Those will be our opportunities for the hub to bring programming around or to address the gaps that we might see in the ecosystem, whether it's a program or something different.
If I real quick, Donna, could I jump in?
Yes.
I'm a ATDC is an entrepreneur serving organization. So my perspective in this hub, I think the value is if you're a founder on the line, you should be doing this work in a local community, in a network that's allowing you to get to know founders in your area that are doing the work that you're about in your business. In every entrepreneurial center, service organization like ATDC, we have resources that we can offer, but we don't have all the resources. And I think that's true for every organization out there. And so the exciting part for me in the hub here is that we're trying to create this low friction connectivity network where if a founder in one node needs a resource or a connection or a customer or finance or whatever that's available through another node, that the hub can provide an easy way to get through to that network. And that way, all of us are elevated to really leverage the benefits and resources that are anywhere in the network. And I've not seen anything sort of like this before from ATDC's perspective. It's really amplifying the work that all of us can do to help entrepreneurs in our local area.
Thank you.
And John, if I could piggyback off of that in regards to the MBEs and the community building, one of the other things that's been really beneficial for the MBEs, we've engaged over 38 companies thus far and have conducted 6 virtual connection sessions with MBEs. And so this was a way for them to establish new relationships, build trust, raise awareness. We've also heard from the in-depth interviews that a lot of the entrepreneurs are experiencing loneliness, need support with mental health as they navigate the journey. And so we've seen great outcomes for the connectivity that not only happens from entrepreneurs through resources, but also MBE to MBE, and having that sense of community that comes from connecting with others that are along the journey, regardless of the stage, and actually also learning from others who are in different stages and being able to have that level of support as well. So just wanted to make note of that.
Okay. So we're going to turn it over to Accenture.
All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Nevels, and I lead our Black Founders Development Program for Atlanta. And so excited. I mean, every time I see Barry, your platform, I just get goosebumps about the possibilities of how this, can really change the game in terms of how, MBEs, partners connect and really, level the playing field and really accelerate the growth of the companies. What we'd like to do is to co-create this together, right? I mean, we want to get your input in terms of what this experience kind of looks like. We want to make sure that it's as valuable for you so that you want to come back to the hub and you want to tell others about it. We want to become the largest resource aggregator as well as community builder and really outcome generator, right? This is all about outcomes, right? So a couple of my colleagues are going to walk us through kind of a facilitated conversation, but there's a few different ways that you'll be able to provide feedback. One is we've got some pre-generated questions that if you on your phone want to capture that QR code, it'll take you to menti.com, and that's where we'll start our feedback portion. Certainly, you can also post your questions into the question part of the WebEx, and certainly you can also raise your hand, and Brandy will take you off mute. So we hope that this part of the program will be very engaging and interactive. We're hoping to get a lot of feedback from this group today, so that will help evolve and build out this digital ecosystem. So with I think my colleagues Dijon and Kylan, I'll turn it over to you to get us started.
Hello, everybody. I'm still needing share access, and so as I sort that out, I'll just do a quick introduction. My name is Kylan Tester. I work with Accenture as a part of Accenture Interactive, and I'm a senior analyst with the company. I also am familiar with a number of you all and see some familiar faces and names through some of the work I do outside of Accenture with Startup Atlanta, where I help map in present the resources that are available to our local startup community. Looking forward to helping curate these resources with you all on this platform and also getting your feedback on what you all just saw with the labs demo. Dijon?
Wonderful. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dijon Smith, coming to you from the Windy City of Chicago. I am the Global Program Manager for Accenture's Black Founders Development Program. So really excited to support initiatives and programs that really, provide space and elevate our historically excluded entrepreneurs and minority business entities. So really happy to be here today. We're going to do a quick mentee session. As Tiffany said, this is going to be interactive. Please feel free to use your phone, laptop, tablet to access mentee.com, and be sure to enter in the code 6668 5691. And as we get started, we just want to get a lay of the land of the 120 people or so that are on this call right now. What group of users do you represent or persona? Are you an entrepreneur and business owner? Are you a part of a minority serving institution? Are you a part of an entrepreneur serving organization? Or are you one of the hub anchor partners? So feel free to get into the mentee and select what group of users you're a part of, and then we'll get started with the feedback of the great demo that we just saw of the Labs platform and how it could possibly be the wonderful tool that powers our growth.
We'll give you all a few minutes to get this in. I see a few of you all are trickling in. Dijon, I'm not able to see comments from my side as I'm presenting. So if there might be anybody that has any trouble, just let us know and we can make sure we send out the information that you might need.
Will do. No comments as yet, so I think we're good to go. So everyone else, feel free to get into
that awesome music.
Perfect.
And you'll see at the top of the screen, if you're using your computer, mentee.com, and then the code 6668 5691, and that'll put you right into the.
Yeah, well, you might want to reinforce how to get in.
Okay. So if we want to put it in the chat, it's just.
I did put it.
Okay.
Mentee.com.
Okay. Perfect.
We have over 100 people on the line, so we want to make sure all of you are participating. At least 90% of you need to go to that mentee.com. Put in that number, please. We got to get there. We need your feedback.
So far, we're at 43, 44. We got them coming.
All right, it's coming along. It's coming along. One of the things while people are doing that really quickly, I do want to emphasize that this hub is focused on all stages of business. It's not just startups, and it's not for only tech companies. I know a lot of times people go there when we're doing things like that, but the hub itself is a startup. So we're doing a customer discovery here, right? We're trying to discover what our customers want. So please give us your feedback.
We are now at the point now where we've closed the voting. Dijon, I'll pass it back on to you if you want to help continue to facilitate.
Perfect. Okay, so now we got a lay of the land. The majority of the people that are on this call are definitely our business owners. So happy that you all are here to provide your feedback based off of what you've seen today. So Kylan, let's get on to the next question here, which I know I saw some people were able to progress onto. So some of the single words that we see as it relates to the potential of the hub based off of the demo that we saw today around being innovative, people are excited, curious, thinking that this is informative and definitely resourceful. So definitely excited to see that feedback thus far with regards to what you all saw from the Labs platform. I think it's definitely going to be, a great resource for us, moving forward. But glad to see that it seems overwhelmingly positive. I don't see any negative sentiment as it relates to this word cloud. So feel free to continue to provide your feelings as it relates to the demo that you saw so far. And we'll be able to continue to collect these moving forward. But kindly, we can move on to the next question. All right, so how effective do you believe the platform you saw today will be at solving the following pain points? So overall, one was around facilitating better referrals as it relates to the minority business owners. Two, the other statement was around increasing collaborations across the minority serving institutions. And then 3, really around building community for our under-resourced entrepreneur serving organizations. You know, if you have a centralized platform, how can we help to just streamline the experience moving forward so that it can augment and complement the resources that are currently in our entrepreneur serving organizations. So across the board, it seems like people definitely strongly agree that the Labs platform, if it is used and powered for the Growth Hub, can definitely be effective in at least solving some of these pain points that were identified over the last several months when we've been having interviews with the team and with the various personas that would be engaging and leveraging this platform moving forward. So happy to see that. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Feel free to ping them in. I don't know if we'll try that muting thing again because
Yeah.
so much.
I can try one more time. I can try one more time with Fred. Fred, are you
No,
there?
it's fine. Maybe we can just ping things in the chat and I'll
Yeah.
just monitor the chat.
Fred is there. Fred is unmuted.
Oh,
Fred?
Fred, go ahead, Fred.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fred Daniels. I am the Chief Credit Officer at Citizens Trust Bank here in Atlanta, Georgia, celebrating 100 years as one of the largest African-American owned banks in the country. Donna and I go way back, so it gives me honor and pleasure to be in front of your group this afternoon to hear what's going on and to let everyone know that we are here to serve the minority community in terms of lending programs and just whatever you need, we're here for you. But I'm more so here just listening and observing. And if there are any needs, I could be reached by calling the bank and asking for Fred. I've been there for 28 years. Everybody knows who I am and how to get to me. So thank you for the opportunity.
Abraham also has his hand up. Abraham?
Hello, yes. My name is Abraham Ventura, and I'm founder and CEO of Pitch Cage. I'm Hispanic I'm Hispanic, and I own the business. I started from scratch, and I definitely noticed that there's a big difference, and it's much harder for us minorities to get in there, get in the door, meet investors and things like that. We have to approach differently, and I found a lot of support on Twitter. That helps me out, and I just appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Abraham, and thanks, Fred, for sharing. Appreciate that. And I mean, Abraham, I would love, hopefully, in some of the other questions, what community that you found on Twitter that you think would be beneficial to incorporate into the hub? Like, what resources were you finding on Twitter, whether it's articles or white papers or whatever it might be that were helpful for you on your entrepreneurial journey? So would love to definitely welcome that feedback as we continue in this mentee. Kylie, can we go into the next question, please?
Sure thing. Too fast.
Oh, perfect. All right. So what are some other rooms or communities that you would like to see and connect with in the hub? You know, the Labs platform definitely has so many features and functionality as it relates to creating space for individuals. So yeah, this question really here is like, what other community types would we like to see our floors integrated into the hub? So let's see, stage of company, product design, capital. Okay, not sure. I'm new to this. So yes, I think when we get a more in-depth demo of the Labs platform, more of you will be able to answer this question. But thinking of this as a big virtual sort of AR kind of space that you can access via the web, there's different rooms that definitely you can hopefully tap into. So as we talk about maybe stage of company, if you're in the idea stage, maybe there's a community and room definitely for you. If you're at the growth stage or the scale stage, if you're at the space where you're actually looking for funding, you want to figure out, should you go the venture capital route or, you know, tap into Citizens Bank and Fred and seeing if you can get a loan or anything like that moving forward. So any ideas that you have on communities, whether it's relating to, you know, a branding and marketing room or a legal room to understand, you know, what business formation is best for you. If you should go the LLC route or go strictly to a C corp or a closed corporation. All of these things have different tax implications. So what kind of rooms or communities do you think would be beneficial for you as an entrepreneur, or for you as an entrepreneur serving organization, a hub partner, a minority serving institution, as it relates to you providing feedback on or resources on how entrepreneurs can be potential suppliers of your organization as well. So what procurement things and hurdles do these entrepreneurs need to go through? So those are some things that you kind of think through as it relates to the communities and the rooms that could hopefully be embedded into this lab's growth hub platform, that can serve you based on the journey and your user and persona type. So hopefully that was helpful, for some of you that weren't sure.
Dijon, Hillary Roy, she said grant writing room. She said
Grant
that's
writing rooms.
definitely, yeah.
I like that one too.
Grant writing rooms, definitely, because as Tiffany and others said, there's so many grants out there right now. There's so many organizations that are investing heavily in minority business entities. So yeah, being able to write proper grants and knowing where that funding is and how you can access it in a quick and efficient manner is definitely key. So think of other ideas for different community rooms, and feel free to plug them into the mentee.
Yeah.
Self-care room and mental health, definitely a good one.
That was what I was just about to ask about. I was curious to know who might have entered this one. I'd love to see if we can have anyone to speak on like what kind of mental health resources that you all might think would be most helpful. Feel free to drop it in the chat, or if you want to come off mute.
Sri, are you there? I see your hand up.
Yeah, go for it, Akisi.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to quickly raise my hand earlier to introduce myself, if I still could do it. Yep, my name is Sri Goody, founder of S-Nova Solutions, coming from Birmingham, Alabama.
Nice.
Very fortunate to be invited to this event, and seems like a great platform. We are a technology-based company playing mainly in the federal sector, and would love to also collaborate and team with other minority-owned companies. I'm also fortunate to be named SBS Alabama Small Business Person of the Year for 2020. So look forward to participating in this great resource. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. And Akisi, I think you said you wanted to unmute and share. Are you able to unmute yourself?
I'll unmute her. If
you.
you guys would like to ask a question, if you raise your hands, it'll make it a lot easier, and then I can unmute you, but I'll go ahead and look for your name. Okay. Go ahead, Akisi.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Great. So just speaking to, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Wonder Grubs. We are an edible insect supplier located in Atlanta, Georgia. And regarding self-care and mental health, one of the things that I've noticed in the industry, just, across sectors, oftentimes many startups are solo, or there may be a two-man team or a really small team, and you're bootstrapping, et cetera. And as you're gaining traction, one of the things that kind of gets left behind are people taking care of themselves. So I noticed that many people don't have health insurance. They're working extended hours, they're not taking breaks, and sometimes working through the pain of health issues that they have. And so if there's a room that's kind of dedicated to helping people find insurance agents, or going in together as a group, to get coverage, local therapists. There are a lot of relationships that sometimes suffer, or people compromising relationships with their kids, and just kind of helping people balance that, being an entrepreneur or a small business owner, and their personal relationship and their personal health.
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that insight. It's really helpful to kind of like help visualize what these types of resources would look like in this growth hub.
Kylan, I see Elizabeth put trauma-informed care.
Yeah. Elizabeth, might you feel comfortable to speak a little bit more to that?
Elizabeth? I unmuted her.
Looks like we'll be having her come up in just a second here.
Elizabeth?
Thank you all for these awesome responses so far. In the meantime, this looks like some really great responses. After this, we'll go ahead and move to the next one.
Oh, there she is. Elizabeth, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you. And this is really exciting. I love the thought of having a room that would provide training. Trauma-informed care is something that we were just discussing earlier today. That would be an opportunity for people to be able to bring trauma-informed care into all of their trainings. And now in this environment, shall I say, that might need to be a really big room because so many people have been impacted and they don't even know it yet. So what we're going to see over the next year or so, we might want to prepare for that audience, shall we say.
Thank you. Awesome.
Let's move on over to the next question. So how do you want your experience to be different in the hub compared to other business ecosystems you've engaged with? So we've been seeing, a lot of great responses so far. I think one that I saw earlier was less selling and more sharing. If this is going to be a space for all these groups to come together, how can we share more resources together? How can we learn from one another? Obviously selling is great, but learning, hey, how did you get that grant? How did you get $1 million? Because I saw, less than 100 minority business entities are able to raise over $1 million from VC. So what did you do? And can you share some of those stories back to us? So definitely seeing some of those themes here, more sharing and less selling, and creating a safe space, specific information and resources, at the proper stage based off of you, some more curated, personalized content for you to navigate to when you need it. What else? Definitely ease of use, more innovative. I think there's some other things that are popping in here. Some people saying that they've never seen anything like this before. So kudos to Farah over at the labs for creating this and creating space for people to interact in such a way. You're the first, so it's great to see this right now. Outside of that, what else are we seeing in here, Kylan, that you're finding that's popping out for you?
Yeah, I see a lot of focus on engagement and innovation, new ideas and inclusion. I see, if people want to have a direct connection to a lot of folks. I noticed there was someone who wanted direct connections to decision makers within some of these organizations. It looks like collaboration is something else that I'm seeing that's popped up quite a bit here as well. And then there's a huge conversation around equity. And it looks like someone just popped up there, but also looks like different types of founders to focus on within this platform.
Yep, definitely. This is all wonderful and great content, and I know the team is going to be very excited to dig in deeper. I know we're just touching the surface, but I'm just so happy that we're able to capture all this feedback now and to share back with the team so we can truly build this growth hub that's definitely going to serve all the needs that are being captured here today.
Jean, can I, a couple of people have asked to say a couple of words. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, please,
Okay.
please, yes.
Rachel?
Hey everyone, this is Rachel Wilson with Collab Capital. It's nice to be here. Thank you for the team for allowing me to join this. This is really great information, and the lab looks really, really cool and innovative. Some of the points I wanted to call out or just get some insight on was one on the technology itself. So how is the experience going to be ubiquitous across everyone who accesses it? Because, for a corporation, it might be a different experience because they may have, fiber connectivity or something like that, and small business may not, or if they're in a rural area, or something. How do you ensure that everyone is getting the good experience, especially if you are trying to market yourself or market your business, to decision makers, and making sure that, you're not getting lost in all of the visibility that the hub is offering. And I have a second, but I want to get the answer first.
Farah, do you want to take that question?
Sure. So we've hosted international experiences. So we've had people from Jamaica to South Africa, Cape Town, come to our platform. They've had wonderful experiences. At the end of the day, it is about your internet connection. So nothing we can really do about that. But if you're an organization that's trying to get in, we have passed the firewalls of a lot so far. The ones we haven't, they just let us know, and then we go through their security channels in order to make sure that we are up to date to what we need in order to pass that. So there's one-offs, but for the most part, we've had a lot of different major organizations in our platform, and they've been able to get through.
Let me add something to it. Actually, that's a really, really great question. And some things will be in our control, and some things just are simply out of our control. I would just encourage us, as the infrastructure bill comes down, that we continue to make sure that we get infrastructure and broadband into all of our communities, because this is really important. This is the future. And if we don't have, if our communities are not wired, just face it. I mean, it's nothing we can do about it. We've got to make sure our communities are wired. The other thing, too, is when we first wrote this proposal, we had just started, COVID had just began. We had no idea that we would be sitting here a year and a half later, almost 2 years later, with masks on, going to almost a totally virtual experience. We had this grand idea that we were going to be doing in-person road shows and events and all kinds of things that went through the proposal. But I say that to say we will be returning to some kind of hybrid at some point. So, as we build out the hub, there may be opportunities to have, if you're in a state or in an area where there's not that enough, good connectivity, there might be a way to, access the hub somewhere else, or someplace closer, or go physically to one of the service organizations that's close to your area. That's another thing that we're trying to do, is make sure we bring those, the entrepreneurial service organizations closer to wherever the MBEs are.
That's great, Donna. Yeah, that's why I was like, having a hybrid situation at some point would be really helpful to make sure that happens. And then my last thing was just, I would love to see procurement sprints. So I head operations at Collab Capital. We're an alternative, VC fund, supporting specifically Black founders. But, and we have a $51 million fund dedicated to supporting Black founders in the VC space. But what we do hear a lot also too is that a lot of founders don't have a lot of clarity on why they're not getting procurement opportunities, whether it is RFPs that are out there, or connecting to those decision makers, or there's not enough transparency on what the requirements are so that they can understand why they're not getting those opportunities. So at the end of the day, we can invest into those companies, but if no one's buying the thing that they're selling, then there's no longevity, there's no sustainability of their business. So it would be great to see hubs, places on this platform where there were opportunity sprints, whether that was peer-to-peer, so small business to small business, or large business who's gotten opportunities, to also do some subcontracting to other small businesses. And of course, for agencies to be able to provide those as well too, and just put those out there, like what is coming up and how they can participate, even on a pilot or small scale. It would be really great to say, like, we have a pilot hub. This company, is looking to work with someone in this area, or, we just got a contract. We'd love to have someone who can help us support us with this, and these are the requirements, so that those founders can actually have something, that's business related, helping them to get there, and then also being able to have that sharing experience of why those people were able to receive those funds or get those opportunities. So I would love to see some procurement sprints, some supplier diversity initiatives in the hub as well.
And if I could share also, and Donna, maybe you can speak a little to this as well. So, In regards to the hybrid model, the idea is that the connection sessions, right, will also be able to serve, to your point, and whether that's procurement sprints or different types of activities, we're looking at connecting one state to another, maybe based on industry, based on what resources are in that state that might help businesses that have a strong presence in a particular industry. So thinking about, again, building the plane while we're flying it and really utilizing the connection sessions as well. And so we've started running some of those. But I know, Donna, we're looking at what that looks like in the future, how the connection sessions, so we'll have this technology platform, but those connection sessions is where that human connectivity and, addressing the social capital and also the digital divide, which is important. And so we're also, I know Kirk has been working on this where, we're also being intentional about those partners, and perhaps they're able to provide access to, for people to attend, maybe come and access the hub or attend a connection session if it happens to be virtual. So I think there are a lot of great opportunities through being intentional about partnership and, of course, hearing from you guys and us being able to respond to that and seek partners that are able to mitigate some of these issues. So this is really exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to add, one of the buttons was marketplace on the elevator. Yeah, one of the buttons on the elevator was the marketplace, and so to your point, the last point too is that's another area that we're looking to build out where. We're looking again to do it, probably differently, maybe. So like the opportunity sprints might be a program that we have on the hub that's currently people don't have, where you go to the marketplace to participate. So, thank you for that feedback, because we hear that all the time. And these are some of the areas that, we're aiming to address it within the hub. So,
absolutely.
Thank you all for that feedback. These are tons of really great insights, both from you all personally and then also from the really great responses that we've received. I'll go ahead and move on to the next question, Dijon, if you're ready.
Yep, definitely ready. So this one, I think, was with regards to the rollout plan for the Growth Hub. Were you able to get to the next one? Perfect. So it seems like everyone is aligned, at least for those who participate in this quick ranking session, that the number one priority first is curated resources, organized in some efficient manner for all the entrepreneurs based on where they are in their entrepreneurial journey. Second, once you have those resources, how can you build community not only amongst other MBEs, but the entrepreneur serving organizations, as well as the minority serving institutions. And then finally, having that good marketplace at the end of the day, once you've had those resources in the community, to then now start exchanging goods, services, and just having that marketplace moving forward. So if anyone has any thoughts or feedback with regards to this and the rollout plan of what's top of mind, feel free to continue to provide that feedback and insight into the chat. But just for sake of time, I know, Kylan, let's just kind of power through these last few questions just so we can see. Any features, content capabilities that we think are most useful? Kylan, what are you seeing so far on the screen from what people have done so far?
I see mapping has popped up a few different times between corporations and businesses that might be a good fit. So that's kind of in alignment with what we were talking about with those opportunity sprints. Grants, access to the different funding opportunities that are available. I see the navigation is a super important thing for a lot of the folks here. They want it to be an easy, functional experience. User-friendly is something else that's popping up. I see rapid prototyping services. I see something easy for people to build, or something that people can go on and create what they need for MVPs. Training on how to support diverse businesses. Let's see. Looks like office hours might be another opportunity. Interested in knowing a little bit in more detail of what would happen in those office hours, if it's just one-on-one sessions, or if it might just be just open time to discuss whatever you need. Online interactive training, it looks like that's popping up a few different times. People actually want additional training and support around those different types of things. but networking and connections with other companies looks like a huge opportunity as well.
Great,
Can I
great,
ask-
great,
Can
great.
I add something to that question to see if we can get a little bit more feedback, Colin?
Yeah, of course.
So we operate an entrepreneur service organization, a business center, and every time you ask entrepreneurs what they want, it's capital and opportunity. We know that. However, we also know that you have to build a strong business in order to receive more capital and more opportunity. So around this question of features, contents, and capabilities, but particularly for the business owners out there, what would you like to see in the hub that would help you build your business, aside from more business, contracts, and money? Okay. So as an owner of a business or founder or whatever, what kinds of things would you need to build a better business? Features, contents, and capabilities.
Good point.
Hi, it's Akisi. I'm still able to unmute myself, so I hope that's okay.
Go ahead, Akisi.
One of the things I added, and it was so small, so it may have gotten lost. It would be nice to have tools and templates, like a toolkit. So oftentimes, like a checklist is helpful. Business Canva or business model templates, things of that nature. Examples, of grant applications. Even like storytelling narratives that people may have used, just kind of help provide a guide, would be useful. Those type of things. Onboarding, hiring, tips for hiring, or even a place where people have just shared pitfalls of things to not do, things to avoid as you start expanding your team or growing your business.
Great points.
Awesome. Capturing that. Sorry. Can I speak to that really quickly, Casey? And thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to just a shout out to my entrepreneur and business support organizations that are out there listening. So remember, one of the things we talked about was that we also we're here to collaborate and power what we're doing together. So I know some of you, because we've all been in this ecosystem together for a while, I know some of you have already been developing some of these tools, are addressing some of those, have some of those workshops as these things are popping up. It's so exciting to see so many of the things that we know and so many of the things that we want to build. So I'm just reaching out, not necessarily asking for an answer, but just reaching out to those entrepreneur support organizations, those leaders that are on the call right now that have those tools already. That the whole idea is also that you connect with us so that we can power the founders that we support collaboratively.
Blanca, I have Shaquana. Her hand is raised. Can I unmute her? You guys mind really quickly? Yeah, Shaquana.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to speak. My name is Shaquana Teasley. I am the founder and CEO of Ideate Solutions. We provide global logistics and international trade to move goods around the world safely, and also the trading of goods with the aspects of duty compliance and compliance with customs regulations. I am a new business. I've been in business for 2 years, but finally making profit this year. So I just want to be very transparent here, if that's okay. I am the first in my family to move out of what's considered an undesirable neighborhood. I am the first to own a home, the first to own a business, the first to go to college, the first to not be a teenage mom, etc. And so that brings a lot of challenges being a first-time entrepreneur as well. And what will help me in my business is understanding how to build business credit. That's very hard for me right now. I have no one to lean on to help me do that. How to find automation tools to do less manual work that I am doing currently. And then lastly, I would really like to find a mentor. And I know that we talk a lot about peer-to-peer mentor. I've had great mentors in my life to get my education and to become a subject matter expert. But now in this new area of entrepreneurship, I really would like to have someone that is, and I might be asking for too much, but I'm really anxious to find someone that is dedicated to and committed to helping me grow and learn in the area where I am now mentoring others, but now need that for myself. And then I'll stop here. But also, I wanted to add that this might seem like not a big deal, but for me it is. Also, just getting the MBE and other minority certifications on a federal level is also a challenge. And when you don't have a clue where to begin or who to lean on. So I'll stop there so I don't take too much of the time, but thank you for the opportunity. And thank you also for the hub. I have been very active and thank you, Lakeisha, and the team for your leadership. I have been so empowered in the short time that this has happened. The level of confidence and support that I have gotten to know that I can do this and I'm not alone in this and I can be successful in this and not in the fear factor that has been lifted from me in the short time that I've been part of the hub is immeasurable. I don't have a dollar amount that I can ever put back to what I've gained in this short time. And I couldn't let this close out with, just saying that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right,
Really appreciate
for the sake of time, I'll move on to the next question we have here.
Perfect. So this is regards to content and resources that we think the minority serving institutions can definitely share and include in the hub. So you can put yourselves in those shoes. At the end of the day, we all know most MBE startups, et cetera, need the 2 C's, cash or contracts. But I think to the point being made, there's other things beneath the 2 C's that need to be in place as it relates to how your business is formed, what technologies that you're using, and the infrastructure that you've set up for your business. What is the legal structure? What is your intellectual property sort of strategy? There's so many other things that can help you get capital in cash, for investment or contracts from new potential customers. So just thinking about these minority serving institutions, what can they provide to truly help you to be successful, to get the 2 C's that we all care about at the end of the day? So continue to put things in here. I definitely see obviously things around job opportunities, guest speakers, the technical acumen and due diligence, I think is key here.
Yeah.
Grants, access to contracts, like these are all definitely important things that I think can help facilitate any MBE getting the 2 C's that they care about. But feel free to continue to put more ideas in here. Obviously, the team is going to review this at the end of the day and take all these insights and share back so that we can at least create a good minimal viable product to move forward with. And then I guess definitely in the sake of time, I think we can just go on to the last question. If you have any other, high level thoughts or suggestions, things that we haven't thought about, any gaps, I think just between the conversation that we've had today, what I've been seeing in the chat and what I've been seeing come in here on the Mentee, like there's just a lot here that we can definitely do. A lot of resources that I think will be beneficial to everyone on this call, all the organizations that are, rallying behind this cause. So definitely appreciate you all taking the time, creating the space for us to have this conversation and to facilitate this feedback session. Tiffany, thank you for holding it down and in the Southeast region as it relates to this Black Founders Development Program on the Accenture side, and just the work that you're doing, with this organization to create this hub. So any other suggestions, feel free to, ping them in and share them in the Mentee. But if anyone else has any other lasting thoughts, comments, suggestions, feel free to share them now.
We're starting to have folks trickle down. We only have 9 responses here so far, so feel free to continue to send in your responses as you guys wrap up. But we'll pass it on to the next part of the group, which will close out what we've done today so far.
Would you like any closing comments?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I want to say, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging in there with us and listening to this vision that we all have for connecting our communities throughout the Southeast. I want to again thank, first of all, I want to thank Accenture and the labs for their dedication and commitment to the project. I want to thank our team, Tiffany Bussey. And we have 2 Tiffanys. We have a Tiffany with an I with Accenture and Tiffany with a Y, Dr. Bussey with Morehouse and her team. I want to thank Lakeisha French Chronology and her team, ATDC with John and Blanca and Nakia with their team, as well as my team, Brandy as you said, Brandy and I and the team here. But no, seriously, with my team at the Georgia MBDA Business Center. Our ask, we do have an ask. First of all, we'd like to, again, just go back to say that, we're going to take this feedback and put together a plan to come up with a minimal viable product. As I said before, we're approaching this as a startup. So we want to prove the concept, we want to make sure it works, do a prototype, and then assuming that the prototype works, then we will launch. So having said that, we're asking for anyone who's interested in being part of what we're calling the controlled pilot group. We're putting a group together that will probably start in the new year, not probably, we will start in the new year for somewhere between 4 and 5 months to run the hub. And that means if you're interested, make sure you go to the website that was in there and put in your interest. We will have some criteria for you to be part of the pilot program because you're gonna have to commit to actually being in the hub and using the hub so you can give us the feedback about how we should build the hub. So make sure if you are interested, you're willing to put some time aside to help us build this product, this hub. With that, did I miss anything? I want to thank our our supporters who signed the letters again. I just want to say you jumped in and signed the letters of support without really knowing and seeing what was happening. I want to thank the MSIs and HBCUs, who I know you've been, and all of the other MBEs who've been on the connection session for the last year or so and have participated in the research. And we've done a phenomenal amount of research thanks to the team. And did I leave anything out?
Going forward, what happens next?
Oh, well, what happens next is we will go and sign up if you're interested. We will have, this has been recorded, so we're going to make this available, Brandy?
Yes.
We will make this available to everyone. We'll send you a link to the actual recording. Please feel free to share it with whomever you want to share it to. If you have other MBEs, peers, corporations, entrepreneur service organizations that want to participate, send them our way. We will be following up, and we will get back with you with the plan on our next steps. And with that, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Thank you.